If anyone's listening to this, which I'm pretty sure somebody is, at least I am, I think. Um, Today is the 2nd of November, and there are a great deal of local elections and off national elections done today. School board elections, and in Virginia, the race is apparently extremely tight, so it's all about voter turnout. Um, if you can vote today because you'll find out if you can't or cannot vote today due to voter suppression laws being enacted throughout the country. And if you can't vote today due to those laws, now you'll understand what's necessary for the next time. Uh, a good win today would be winning Virginia, but the main focus is just doing better than 1% than what was done at the same time 4 years ago. The oh, hip hop. It's up to you to get that vote out. Newport News, especially in Virginia, Portsmouth area, um, even in Richmond area. There's and not and even if you're not a hip hop fan, there's much too much at stake. There's and understand getting out the vote and being able to have your voice heard, uh, peaceably heard, and be in control is non. Once again, it wasn't the normal thing. And speaking of which, apparently Sudan had a coup d'état. Um, they apparently have a port that is in need or wants of investment. Um, but mind you, we really only do business with democracies. So the question is, what kind of plan do they have in place that will ensure that the investment into that port is viable, that it leads that from the port to into Africa, that it has that trade could happen. What's the black market, and how much does the ruling junta plan on? They planning on what's in the business plan? The three different plans. The We want to see one where you just pretty much blow smoke up our butt. This would be everything be perfect. We would never do these things. This is the purely, this is the Idi Aman but business plan, or whatever. Then the second one would be these, and then also the numbers have to show how they're going to make over 10, 20 years their country, the growth of their country, of the of which is Sudan in this particular case. But second one would be, let's assume that there's a black market going on. Of course there is. But once again, how are you going to grow uh, the 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 above ground market, and then a little bit of the gray market, and then keeping the black market small, and then where is how are you, once again, always the answer is, how is that going to reinvest in the small businesses and grow your economy? How are you going to make yourself richer? Or how's the junta, the generals in this particular case, once they retire, going to make their countrymen better off within the cultural ways of their country? So if there's somebody out there, you still have, you know, villages. How do you still maintain that village structure while still plugging into the modern world to the degree that that village wants? So you have those water things. Saw this thing where they're collecting water, so they don't have to go, and it feeds it into this. That could be something, or indoor plumbing by creating a instead of doing the plumbing, but just do a drain area. I'm thinking of anyways. I'm thinking I don't know what I'm thinking of, but so how do we do those things that still maintain that village structure within, if there's a village structure in Sudan, in the more rural areas, while at the same time building up the non-rural areas? How is it that's and then how is that going to connect into the other transportation hubs that are nascent within the African continent? And then of course, we, what's your cut, and is your cut coming off the back end and after you've made your people that richer, so, or improved their lives? That's always the question. It's because it's going to be easy to be like, "Oh, man, I can put my fingers in this," and then what's the use of being rich when everyone else is broke? Because everyone else is still money from you. You'd rather be rich when you just chill out and hang out, and everyone hangs out, and you know, yeah, it's much easier. Help your people be their best, and yeah, there's always going to be haters, but you can. It's a lot less annoying. So once again, we need those plans, Sudan. Since Ethiopia didn't want to show up to the plate, maybe they've been put under too much debt. But since you say you're up, what do you got? How could we help you? Help us help you. But and but it's a in the U.S. It's a very important day. Get out there to vote. And your the goal of today is to find out how those rules are going to affect you to vote from now on. How are they going to affect you with the next voting? If you're in Virginia, you got to get out. You got to get out and vote. And if you're afraid of your employer saying something, I'm sure that the NAACP has something on their website to, as far as what the voter, what your local laws are, or at least they can direct you to someplace to find out what your local laws are as far as your employer not being able to interfere with you voting, or interfere with you because you were at the voting poll for 4 hours because the lines were ridiculous and you couldn't get back in time. You Even though it might be more hardship, it seems for the short term, the longer term hardship is far worse. So I'm going to vote. I wish you vote, and we will see what happens on this evening.